Yes?
I need to get going.
Genetic identity confirmed. Entry authorized. Greetings, Dr. Sobek. You are clear to proceed.
Logging arrivals. Shen Margot.
Welcome to Frozen Hell. Population 10.
11 counting Gaia.
Don't count your chicken embryos before they're incubated, hon. She's still firing up. Be a while before you eat that omelet.
I'm vegan, Travis. You think we'd worked in the same secret base long enough for you to notice?
We weren't scheduled to shack up here for another 3 weeks. You realize I just lost 350 kilos of pre-code smut comics in transit.
Wait, actual physical media? Why didn't you have it digitized?
Can't beat the feel of physical media on your fingers. And in here, we ain't gonna be touching a whole lot else. Figured I was gonna pass the time archiving them. What about you?
Me? Work, I guess. My task queue stretches out for like 3 years. There's a lot of sharp edges to round off. After that, I hadn't really thought about it.
Oh, you will. You're what, 30? Reckon you'll be the one turning the lights off at the end. Food for thought, huh, vegan?
This sucks forever.
Nah, not forever. Just the rest of your life.
Mind your footing.
Guess that's my way across. Hit. Guess that's my way across. Guess that's my way across. It's, held like this for 19 years, right?
Well,
Don't answer. Glad that's over. Not this way. Maybe further up the shaft. This must have been where they lived. What's left of it. Once this was all enclosed by rock and metal.
Record. I just woke up. I see the numbers, but can't make out the time. I was dreaming of... I was giving a lecture in Q Hall. Maybe it was something more shamanistic. I don't know. An audience of shadowy faces under a blank open sky. I told them the world ended with a bang. A plague of robots. The last humans. We went out, not with a whimper, but a whisper. You know, in caves, ending like we started, huddled around a flickering glow. The heads of state, the Fortune 5s, the leaders and lottery winners and life cults, all of them buried in their little shelters. Some believing they'll live it out some way, somehow, or Elysium, or us here at Gaia Prime, no different. A multitude of tiny societies taking hold, flaring, dying. Some will be beautiful, some horrific, and none of them matter. Short-term civilizations. One last gasp. One last gasp before the long-held breath. Before I wake up, I know the audience is gone. I'm talking to myself. To a quiet planet, a barren sphere. Just Gaia and her long, long dreaming. I hope she won't be lonely.
Evacuation happened so fast. No time to think things through. No time for goodbyes. There were lines in the medical ward. I told Tom Paik I'd be with him when he went under. But there was one last shipment of Paradiseidae zygotes I could get processed if I rushed. I'm still angry at him for forcing me to choose. Angry at myself for... Well, he died alone. And I didn't get the bloody birds of paradise saved either. All the time left in the world now to think. Gaia Prime's locks are sealed. Elysium sealed up, safe and sound. A distance of miles, but it might as well be on the other side of the galaxy. All the betas and gammas and support staff living their lives. If I hadn't been an alpha, if things had gone differently, I could have been there. Instead, I'm spending the rest of my unnatural life in here with people I don't even like. And without the one I would have gladly spent my life with. Given the chance. 2 hours since I signed off on the final executables, and I'm already a bitter old man bitching to his focus. There's a thought for future generations.
Elizabeth's room. I know it. She didn't even get a chance to unpack. These are her journals. Elizabeth's journals. And they're all destroyed?
Scan them. The Focus can rebuild them, but the process is slow. To us, it seems a powerful device, but its engine is tiny and limited.
How slow?
Days, weeks, years. Concern yourself with stopping Hades and extending the future, and you might live long enough to hear them.
Elizabeth. What is this?
This is Charles Ronson. I'm logging this 6 hours after final deployment of Gaia Prime. This morning, an access port seal malfunctioned. Gaia Prime's port seals were designed to close with a seam of less than 2 millimeters. But this one closed with a 10 millimeter gap. Enough for an energy signature to bleed through. Enough for the swarm to detect this facility. Enough for Gaia to be discovered and destroyed. Enough to end the future we worked so hard to make possible. Unless the hatch servos were manually re-engaged from the outside. I'm now switching to a recording of the event.
Well, I'm not going out there. Not what I signed up for.
Either we send someone out, or all of this was for nothing.
It should be Liz's decision.
So when is she going to get here?
She said 5 minutes. You don't think...
Oh no. Okay, everyone. I've repaired the seal. Gaia?
Seal closure at 1.4 millimeters. Confirmed.
Elizabeth, no. We'll find a way to bring you back in.
It's not gonna happen. The swarm's too close. Really. It's alright. Gaia's complete. She'll take care of things from here on out. That's what she does.
Not like this. There's so much we...
Guys, you know me. I'm no good at endings. At letting things end, so, let's not.
So, happy trails, Liz. And, see you around.
Yeah. Take care of each other, alright?
Liz.
I'm okay with this. I want to go home. Goodbye.
That was the last transmission of Elizabeth Sobeck. She gave everything for the hope of life on this planet. And we are all in her debt.
Hell, Liz. I know. Hell, Liz. I know. I know you're never gonna hear this. That's not the point. You got to play the savior and the martyr all at once this time. Great work.
Look, Liz, you're a pretty stand-up gal. I'm sorry you died. If you had a home to go to, I hope you got there first. But this monument Ronson's made to you? Kinda creepy if you ask me. Rest in peace, Liz. God knows you earned it.
You'd hate it, Liz, but I wrote you a eulogy. I had to try to express all your children. After all Apollo has taught them, they'll think they know everything. But they have to understand what you did for them. How you loved the whole world so much. With an intensity that was dazzling. Bruising. And in the end, it killed you. Or you died for it. Different perspectives. No one could keep up with you, live up to you. I don't know, maybe if I hadn't taken that postdoc in Joburg. I'm glad you shot down the Lightkeeper protocol in the end. I don't think I could have taken seeing another one of you. I mean, Elizabeth Sobeck. There's only one. I miss you. Hello, Margot. How are you holding up?
Dr. Ronson, I've been getting a lot of messages, unsolicited messages from Ted.
Margot, I'm sorry. With Liz gone, we've got no one to run interference with him. I'll talk to Ted. He mostly wants updates, constant updates, hundreds of updates on things he knows nothing about. Liz used to field all of his crap.
He doesn't understand the systems at all. That was kind of by design. But he's getting pretty sketchy with me.
We just have to keep him happy. Liz always said, keep him happy.
Are you kidding? You ever hear how she talked to him?
She was managing him, Margot.
I mean, maybe I should ignore him. He's buried in his pyramid with the Hola Hola girls and Panta Antimod cuckoos. What can he do?
All right. Let's start over from Eleuthia 1.
Running integrity tests. Dr. Brochard Klein. May I speak outside protocol?
I suppose so. There's no one to stop you.
Doctor, you are fatigued. You have been logging abnormal sleep cycles. Are you suffering from depression?
Well, I am trapped in a science facility for the rest of my life. How about you?
In a time slice of 1,250,000,000 operating cycles, 10,000 are involved with processing the loss of Dr. Sobek. I have considered quarantining these processes. Do you think that would be wise?
I'm not a psychologist, Gaia, or an AI scientist. No. It is natural. At least in the context of the work you and I have accomplished, which begs the meaning of the term natural. She was your creator, the patron saint of this crazy endeavor, Our Lady of the Fervent Hypothetical.
Even assuming a string of significant failure combinations, Zero Dawn's chances of success are greater than the hypothetical.
It's called a manner of speech, Gaia. Take a note.
Aloy?
She's gone. Really gone.
You knew she couldn't have survived, Aloy. And her achievements were beyond exceptional.
While her people bickered, she was the one who took responsibility. The only one who could.
She was better than them.
That's not what I said.
She was. You shouldn't be afraid to admit it.
Saying that shows you misunderstand her completely. To her, everyone had value. Everything was worth saving. She gave her life in service to that idea. Even after everything you've learned, you still don't get it. The simplest thing about her, and the most important.
No. She had a superior mind and a superior will. It wasn't about sentimentality.
You're wrong. Remember, she knew it wasn't enough for Gaia to think. She taught Gaia to feel. To care, to sacrifice, to believe in life. Enough to fight against hopelessness. If it wasn't for that sentimentality, life would have ended. You and I would never have existed.
Your argument is sound. I'm sorry for your loss.
She said she wanted to go home. Maybe.
What?
Nothing. It's time to go on.
What are we going to plug into their heads, Les? A whole lot of history? A whole lot of so-called truth? A whole lot of noise? It's not pablum, Les. It's poison.
There's another section at the back of the crater. Looks like it survived the blast.
Because it was armored. You found the control room.
I'm on my way.
I've been taking a hard look at the project. In the end, it's simple. It's clean. It's clear. Erasure. Addition. By. Subtraction. I can make a better list. With a single stroke, make it all go away.
I really don't like the direction this is going.
Continue.
This should be the last power cell I need to get to that ancient armor I found. When I opened the hatch, the air rushed in from this side.
Because there was none inside the chamber.
But the Alphas were in there.
I'm locked out of core control. Alpha clearance overridden. What the hell is Omega clearance?
Oh no.
Alpha personnel. Sorry to alarm you, but I need you to listen, okay? To what I'm about to say. This isn't easy. See, please, stop trying to access the system, okay? See, what this is about is, I said stop trying to access the goddamn system. Or what I'm trying to say is, I can't stop thinking about the ones who come after us. Those innocents. Those blameless men and women. We're gonna give them knowledge? Like it's a gift?
Ted. We've talked about this before. Apollo has 3,000 plus fail-safe conditions.
It's not a gift, it's a disease. They're the cure, and we're gonna give them the disease. Our disease? No, we can't. And it's not too late. If we're willing to sacrifice.
Ted, it doesn't need to be like this.
It already is, Samina. I did it 3 minutes ago. I've purged Apollo. It's gone, all of it, every copy.
A sacrifice? It's not a sacrifice, it's cultural obliteration, you crazy bastard! Millennia of culture.
I'm sorry. Really, I am. But sometimes, to protect innocence have to die.
Emergency alert. Venting atmosphere.
He killed them all.
So this is why. This is why we were trapped in benighted ignorance for an innocent future. Blameless men. He never saw the slaughter in the Sun Ring. Everything these people achieved, all the knowledge of the old ones, evaporated, turned to dust, scattered to the void, like the Alphas themselves.
No. Not a void. When the hatch unsealed and scattered their ashes on the wind, it took them out among the world they made. The world we're living in. It's a monument to what they died trying to accomplish.
A monument to oblivion.
Not oblivion, Silence. Hope. The Master Override. It's so small.
Now all you have to do is kill Hades with it.
Good?
Try not to fall to your death. The Master Override doesn't override gravity.
You're here.
For a moment.
What?
Our journey together has come to an end, Aloy. But before I go, I think I owe it to you to tell you the rest of the story.
Go on.
Some time ago, I admitted that I'd been involved with the Eclipse. But I never told you the full extent of my culpability. The truth is, I was there at the beginning. I found Hades, Aloy, buried on that mountain, trapped in that shattered titan. And I served it.
What?
It promised knowledge and delivered. Such knowledge, you have no idea.
And in exchange?
I helped create the Eclipse. Helped it build a cult, an army to do its will.
Why are you telling me this now?
Because your success depends on knowing this. When I found Hades, the first thing it wanted to know about was the Spire. Not Meridian. The Spire. Now, why would that be?
The Spire was created by Gaia.
Which part of Gaia?
Minerva. Its code-breaking module. Gaia built spires to transmit the codes that deactivated the Pharaoh robots, shut down their biomatter conversion systems. Hades wants to send a new transmission. To wake the machines, so they can devour the world all over again.
Yes. Based on what we've learned, that's my conclusion as well.
So the Eclipse, the robots they've resurrected, they're just a means to an end. An army to capture the Spire.
Yes. So Hades can exterminate life all over again. Unless you stop it.
I want you to tell me everything. Hades, the Eclipse, everything.
It's a long story, Aloy.
Then get started.
It began with a focus, recovered from an ancient ruin, as yours was so many years ago. In my case, the device was heavily damaged. There was just a flicker of life in it. I spent weeks studying it, attempting repairs, until finally, I succeeded. A whole new dimension of perception revealed, right before my eyes. That's when I detected it. A faint signal. Out there, something was searching, just like I was.
A real kindred spirit.
I followed the signal to its source. A shattered titan, buried in the jungles of the Jewel.
So you thought it was a titan? An old war machine?
I didn't know what to think. I'd seen such wreckage before. The Grave Horde, for example. But this was different. This was not quite dead. It couldn't speak when I found it, until my repairs gave it a voice. So began an exchange of knowledge. It wanted to know everything about our world, its tribes and machines. But the Spire was always its foremost concern.
What did it want to know about the Spire?
Its precise location, the surrounding geography, who controlled the land. Meanwhile, Hades revealed to me many of the intricacies of ancient technology. It bid me to recover and repair more focuses. Before long, I had a couple dozen up and running.
Enough to equip a small army.
The commanders of one, anyway. I didn't care. I was learning so much. Physics, calculus. You have no idea.
And the Shadow Carja? How did they become involved?
The Carja Civil War was a happy coincidence. A perfect opportunity.
An opportunity? That's what it was to you?
Yes. Overnight, half the tribe was in exile, desperate to win back Holy Meridian. Their religion made them easy to manipulate. All I had to do was present Hades as the buried shadow of their mythology. So yes, it was an opportunity. I arranged for High Priest Bahavas to meet with Hades. Helis was there as well. And so the Eclipse was born. Anything to win back Holy Meridian.
But Hades didn't care about Meridian. And neither did you.
We live in a world of fallen cities and vanished tribes. What were a few more? Besides, I was too busy setting up the cult's focus network to Hades' specifications. A thrilling technical challenge, especially with the alterations I included of my own design.
The ability for you to spy on them.
Yes. I may have been foolish enough to serve Hades, but I was never so foolish that I trusted it. I installed what the ancients used to call a back door in the network. Secret access, empowering me to monitor all activity and communications.
What made you turn on Hades? It certainly wasn't your conscience.
Actually, I was troubled the first time I saw the Eclipse raise an ancient war robot. With my technology. I questioned Hades about its intentions.
A little late?
Indeed. I'd already outlived my usefulness. When I completed work on the Focus Network, Hades summoned me to receive my reward. The next moment, I heard it broadcast my kill order. I've been a fugitive ever since.
So when did I come into this? Our path together?
When Olin stumbled on you. System threat detected. That got my attention. A kill order against a savage Nora girl? Why would Hades bother with that? But then I saw that this Nora girl was wearing a focus, and bore an uncanny resemblance to a great scientist of the old world. Helis moved quickly. I thought you were dead. But then I detected your focus inside the Nora Mountain. The more I observed you, the more convinced I became of your extraordinary nature and usefulness. Through you, I could finally discover the secrets of the Earth. I vowed to do everything I could to ensure your success. The rest, as they used to say, is history.
The things you've done in the pursuit of knowledge, Silence. Pure recklessness.
Aloy, this wasn't a confession to elicit your judgment.
Unbelievable.
I've done all I can. From here on out, the rest is up to you. Take my lance. Fit the master override to it, and you have a means of injection.
Then I just need to get close enough to Hades' skull to stab it in?
Exactly.
Oh, no problem. Silence! Where will you go?
Elsewhere. And everywhere. There's so much more to discover before the world ends.
And all this?
I leave it to you, of course. As it turned out, it was yours all along. I was merely trespassing.
Task is complete.
Yes. The focus network is active, built to your specifications. Check it yourself if you must. I'll wait. But I remind you of the reward you've been withholding. Quantum processing?
Data has been compiled. Volume too great for transfer.
How inconvenient for me.
Come before me. You shall receive your reward.
Very well.
Helis. Threat detected inside Eclipse.
Speak its name, O Shadow, and it will die.
You will eliminate this one. Silence.
Silence. Yes. A truth whispered at night is seen in the day. He was never one of us. It will be done.
They're coming.
Preparations are complete.
Ah, Lucent Bahavas. Behold, as I promised you.
What manner of great machine is this? I've never seen such a thing. Stay! Stay your ground, Carja in Shadow!
Incorrect. Bow before the buried shadow.
Buried Shadow, I don't understand.
Did Ahriman understand the Glinthawk that perched upon the Alight?
It speaks scripture.
Ahriman followed the shadow cast from the spire.
To the Mesa, where Holy Meridian was founded.
You will follow the shadow once more.
I am a righteous man, chosen of the sun. But in times of need, the powers of Shadow can accomplish what the sun alone cannot. Will Will you return to us what is ours, O Shadow of Prophecy?
An army is required. Obey, and Meridian is yours.
Of our obedience you can be certain.
I traveled far to find you. I heard your transmission. It was you, wasn't it?
Entity is not known.
I'm called Silence, and you are. I don't think you'd have called out if it wasn't something you wanted. You called, I responded. Will you tell me your name?
Hades.
You are a creation of the ancients. A war machine?
Define timeline.
Time? Ah. It is the 13th king of the Karja Sundam's reign.
Define Karja.
We're getting ahead of ourselves. Were you created by the ancients? I wonder how long you waited here, buried, until I chanced upon you. How long you'd have to wait for another. You're obviously very powerful, but you're not going to get anywhere without me.
Titan Flame merely houses intellect. Define Karja.
Now that's more like it.
I have to tell Avad that the Eclipse are ready to strike. After what happened with Dervahl, I know he'll defend the city. But the Spire... I have to tell Avad that the Eclipse are ready to strike. After what happened with Dervahl, I know he'll defend the city. Need them soon enough. Those clamps have the armor locked in place. Maybe there's a way to power up the mechanism, release the clamps. There we go, the last one. These all powered up. Now to get the dials in position. There must be some kind of code. Did it. Let's have a look at that armor inside. All right, now let's see what we can do with this material. No room. You're 3-Toe Huadiv, right? Vanasha sent me. What happened?
I got hornswoggled, that's what. Vanasha batted her lashes, wiggled her hips, and promised us treasure. Clear a path for the royals, she said. Sneak past the garrison and skewer a few watches. Hardly a bother. Little did we know there was a damned monstrosity lurking underground. When will I learn not to gawk at skinny girls?
Why do you think Vanasha swindled you?
My crew came to Sunfall because we heard the bounties were fat. She offered us the fattest one of all, enough to retire on. It's my own damned fault for taking the bait. Should have known I'd end up with a rupture in my useful parts.
So Vanasha needed safe passage for Nasadi and Idaman, but it didn't work out?
She made it sound so sweet and easy. Find the best path to the lake, make sure it's safe. What could go wrong? Turns out, a lot. Like bloody murder in the grinding jaws of a heinous death beast.
Something attacked you from underground.
Oh, you picked that up, did you? I wondered why the Shadow Carja didn't pay attention to the pass. Well, they don't need to. A rock-eating demon guards it for them. It tunnels in the dirt, breaks through the earth, and blasts rocks from its stinking face. I barely escaped. My comrades weren't so lucky. I might shed a tear if they weren't all cutthroats and cheaters.
Vanasha will be here soon with Nasadi and Idaman. I've got to destroy that thing in the pass before they arrive.
You're not too bright, are you? Well, we didn't last long against it, but I'll tell you what I know. It has armor everywhere, a little less at the rear. And when it goes underground, it will lose track of you if you're quiet. You might even be able to keep it from going under altogether if you hit its big crooked arms hard enough. That's all I can offer, friend. I promise to look solemn at your funeral before I hit the bar. By the radiant sun, I can't believe it. I thought that evil rock chewer would grind you up. After that miracle, all we can do is wait. Vanasha will be here soon, along with a boat that'll take the royals across the lake.
Ah, little huntress. Glad you accepted my invitation to play bodyguard. Where are your men, Huadiv? It looks like something chewed you up and spat you out.
That's pretty much exactly what happened.
The way is clear. Can we go?
I like how you always cut to the chase. In this case, literally. It won't be long before we're followed. Don't be afraid, Your Radiance. We've got excellent protection. Oh dear, here come the Shadow Carja, and they're very angry with me.
I'll hold them off.
Very noble of you, but when I start a fuss, I like to finish it. Not that your assistant isn't welcome. Huadiv, get Itaman and his mother to the shore. Carefully. So it comes to this. I must say, after 2 years under the heel of these zealots, I'm ready to extract a little blood. Some traps would be nice. Here they are. Let's make it hurt, shall we? More of the bastards. Get ready. I'll make sure you feel every blow. Kindness and stay still. Well now, seems I worked up a bit of a sweat.
Can't carry more.
I don't want to jinx it, but we might be in the clear. A bit late, aren't we, gentlemen?
Sorry, ma'am. The boat's waiting.
Damn, I spoke too soon.
This one's mine. Get to the boat.
You know, this time I think I might be out of my league. If anything happens to her, I will be very cross.
We're not going anywhere.
For you!
I'd have to ditch something. These will keep.
Not exactly a royal barge, is it? Oh well, defectors can't be choosers. Let's get aboard, shall we? You've done a good thing. Maybe even ended a war.
Maybe. But my war just keeps going.
Edaman, my brother, welcome home. You have nothing to fear. You are now under the protection of the Sundom. My protection. As is your mother, she will not be harmed. You have my word, the law of the sun. Aloy, it seems I see your influence everywhere. You've done so much for the Sundom, and it will always be appreciated. You have my thanks. May you walk in the light.
Appalling. I spent 2 years in the Forbidden West setting this up, and the redhead gets all the credit?
I'm still getting paid, right?
You'll be lucky if I let you live. I couldn't have done this without you. When we meet again, I'll give you a proper thanks, I promise.
Won't find better wares. Take a look at these wares. I've got all the best goods here.
What are you doing, Aloy? This path leads to the cut. The Banuk have nothing to offer besides useless mysticism. The Eclipse won't stand idle while you waste time playing in the snow. Return to your desk.
Surprised you're still checking up on me. I thought you had moved on.
Well, forgive me for still being concerned with the fate of the world.
I was thinking, Banuk shamans thread blue cables through their skin, right? Kind of like someone else we know, huh? So maybe the real reason you want me to stay clear of the Banuk is to stay clear of your past.
It's not the past that concerns me, Aloy. It's the future. Or possible lack thereof. Which is why you should stop practicing and get back to what matters. But as usual, you'll do as you wish.
Touchy. Should have brought a cart. This one's a new predator. I can see the heat coming off it. This one's a new predator. I can see the heat coming off it. Okay, that's a welcome, I guess.
Ha! You sure you'll be warm enough up here, Nora?
I've worked up a sweat from the climb.
You made it to the cut, Outlander.
Not that you'll stay long.
This is Song's Edge, biggest settlement in the cut.
These are dangerous lands, Outlander. Deadly, even.
Smoke rising from the mountain. And the village, too. What's it for?
The young hunters have learned a lesson from Thunderstrom.
Aratek mourns our hunter's death. Just as we do.
Must be something big going on. Most of the village is moving towards that smoke.
Our shaman has abandoned us. Our chieftain has led our best to their deaths.
Get ready for a rare sight, Nora. Bergrand, purveyor of necessities. Most of the time, the Banuk burn their dead, but not today.
Because the bodies couldn't be recovered.
Aye, a nasty business. All their best warriors lost. So they're getting a different kind of send-off.
Grasp your grief, my hunters, and kill it! For our kin sees the fate all Banuk long for. Falling with their spears striking steel. Their struggle is over now. You have witnessed their spirits rise up into the blue sky, and beyond to the blue light. But our struggle is only beginning. Soon, we will again take up the hunt against the daemon that frenzies the machines against us. And so I ask you, can you summon the courage of our fallen kin? Will you fight And die, as well as they did!
My courage! My spear!
Our blood is in your teeth, Aratak!
We are Banuk. Our enemies. Our prey.
The daemon. That frenzies the machines.
Machines that wiped out their best. And what do they want to do? Go back up there. Fools. A little advice, for free.
Aloy.
Aloy. I've been up here for 2 long winters, and I still can't make sense of the Banuk. Take this ruckus. It started with one of their shamans, Ourea, spouting on about spirits and daemons up on Thunder's drum. So they march their Warwick up there, and half of them get slaughtered by machines. When Ourea vanished, I thought the crazy might have gone with her, but no. Here's Big Aratak, gearing them up to do it all over again.
What is it about the Banuk you can't make sense of?
Well, everything's a test to them. A hardship to endure. A challenge to survive.
Seems like they don't have much of a choice in a place like this.
Yeah. A land cold enough to crack teeth, filled with wild animals. You think they'd accept a little reasonably priced aid. Well, believe me, I've tried to convince them. But a Banuk with nothing left to prove might just lie down and die.
Have you ever heard of a man named Silence? Tall, deadly serious, cables in his skin? Like a shaman?
I've heard that name once or twice, but always whispered. Like some boogeyman the Banuk want to forget. I'm not sure what went down, but I got the impression he messed with the Conclave. Or they messed with him.
Conclave?
All the most important shamans gather in Banur from time to time to keep up with the latest mumbo-jumbo. No idea how they all fit into one tent without those crazy headdresses getting locked up on each other. Ourea's been to that shindig, but when I asked her what it's like, she just gave me a dirty look. So if you want to know more, you'll have to find her and make her like you, I guess. Good luck.
And Ourea is the one who spoke about this daemon?
That's right. Told Aratak and the others that it lives up on Thunder's drum. And they believed her.
But you don't.
Look, I don't know what Ourea found up there. A shaman's not going to talk to an outlander. The machines in the cut are getting more vicious, that's a fact. It could be because of the daemon, or it could be because they all got indigestion, for all I know. But Ourea's not around to explain. She took off, and no one knows why.
Is Aratak a renowned warrior around here?
He's a Warwick chieftain. His voice carries a lot of respect. Not that you hear much of it. Man talks about as much as a dead fish. But when he and Ourea came to town with their Warwick, it drew more Banuk to this little burg than I'd ever seen. Know what else I saw, Aloy? My own little trade route, stretching all the way back to the claim. Then, he goes and leads them off to their death at the claws of angry machines. So much for my best customers.
What are these Warwicks about, Bergrand? Some sort of tribe within the tribe?
Not like our clans back home. You don't get born into these things. They hold tryouts. Prove your best at something and you might get a place. Some Warwicks come and go. Some last as long as metal. The whole Banuk territory, Banur, is just a bunch of the biggest, oldest Warwicks.
I'm not sure if I'm less confused or more confused.
Well, here's the sure thing. Each Warwick has a chieftain and a shaman. They make the decisions. All well and good, except the chieftains are hard-headed, and the shamans have their heads in the clouds.
You said you've lived out here for 2 winters?
Aye. Back home, some fur traders told me about this steel-forsaken heap of tents. Good location. Ripe for change. We were barely scraping by until this place started filling up for Araya. A great prophet is coming, they said. I heard prophet. Honest mistake. Not that the Banuk are stingy, they just prefer to keep trade among themselves. We could get through to enough of them. We could really put this place on the map. Or at least on a map.
We?
Me and my daughter. My assistant, Varja. My assistant and my daughter. We seem to get along better as business partners. Her mother wanted me to show her a trade. She started tinkering with weapons. Say, when you need a break from this Banuk carry-on, stop in and see her. You're both, how do I put it?
Women?
No. Independent. Look for her at Long Notch, the easternmost Banuk camp.
I want to know more about this Damon.
It's crazy talk, Aloy.
Or there's something to it. Something connected to how the machines behave.
Then you need to find Araya. She was last seen headed for the mountains they call the Ice Rafts. I've heard only the shamans know the trail beyond those frozen peaks. But I do know where you could find her apprentice, Naltuk. He went north of the river, chasing rumors.
Rumors?
Not the good kind. Sudden attacks in the snow. Strange new structures. Some say a new machine, like no one's seen before.
Well, now I'm definitely interested. Thanks for the talk, Bergrand.
Don't mention it.
I wonder if
New
Aratak
machines
can tell me
cannot
more
be
about Araya
unkillable.
or Thunder's Drum.
It'll not be easy, but
Might be worth a
the
shot.
Banuk care little for easy.
If you have no ambition to one day become chieftain, why even call yourself Banuk? You look like it.
Silence by rising.
Before a dead thing, There's something.
No more music. The blood saw to that.
Bandits grow like in the dark when their attention is elsewhere.
Water lapping on old stone.
The frost figure's rewards feeding.
That's the sound to sleep to, not live to.
Just look at the frozen tall net.
Oh, I'm glad my father isn't around. It would torment him to see his legacy drowned.
How long must we wait for you? It's been ages.
One day, the Stone of the Din was dry.
But soon fear will turn to
The next, the flood came.
Our hands are full, Outlander. We don't have time to show you around.
Deep din, silenced by rising waters.
Sure, the Oseram tough. Could send them to the cut and most of
Glad our paths.
No more music. Flood saw to that.
inside my thinking.
Water lapping on old stone.
The Oseram. With their
That's the sound to
ridiculous
sleep
ideas
to,
about
not
magic.
live to.
How many great warriors have they ignored?
Oh, I'm glad
I
my
remember
father
the
isn't
Red
around.
Raids, Outlander.
It would
I
torment
knew
him to
what
see his legacy
outsiders brought
drowned.
to the cut.
Feel
One day, Stone of the Din was dry.
Purple markings.
The
I
next,
wasn't prepared.
The flood came.
These bandits think we'll kneel before their blades? Do they know who we are?
Deep din, silenced by rising waters.
Saw some unpleasant characters lurking around near Stone. Be careful. Story shooting. What is that?
No more music.
We don't need help.
Blood saw to that.
And if we did, we would not seek it from an outlander.
We've never faced anything like the machines that guard Thunder's drum.
Keeping your quivers stocked, I hope.
Water lapping on old stone. That's the sound to sleep to, not live to.
Time to spend all day painting cliffside.
Oh, I'm glad my father isn't around. It would torment him to see his legacy drowned.
Not many Outlanders are suited for life in these lands.
Just a
One
week ago,
day,
I saw a Karja
Stone of the
sightseeing
Din was dry.
expedition, staring slack-jawed at
Next,
the frozen
the flood
Tallneck.
came.
These new machines, another horror visited
Deep
upon
din,
us by the demons.
silenced by rising waters.
No one hunts like the Banuk, but I've heard the Nora can handle their bows.
A hunt gone sour is no one's fault but the hunter's.
No more music. The flood saw to that.
Killed.
Hunt well, Outlander.
Water lapping on old stones. That's the sound to sleep to, not live to.
Some say Sakuli's paintings tell the future, but I don't believe it myself.
None can remember a time when the Tallneck wasn't trapped in ice.
Oh, I'm glad my father isn't around. It would torment him to see his legacy drowned.
These cities of the south sound like wonders, but I prefer a tent I can take with me, thank you.
One day, Stone of the Din was dry. The next, the flood came.
Welcome to the Cut, Outlander.
Deep din, silenced by rising waters.
Yesterday, some of us sat beneath Sakuli's scaffold and tried to guess what she was painting.
Even if I cared to travel south, I'd not get much further than the
No
Grave
more
Horde.
music.
That place
The flood saw to that.
disturbs me.
Stay safe if you can. Just looking at them makes me.
Water lapping on old stone. That's the sound to sleep to, not live to.
Outlanders. You spend a week in the Cut, then go home to tell your friends how tough you are.
Oh, I'm glad my father isn't around. It would torment him to see his legacy drowned.
I could stone yield and kill Aldwood myself if you weren't hiding behind this crew of cutthroats.
One day, Stone of the Din was dry. The next, the flood came.
That'll be lucky for me.
Deep din, silenced by rising waters. No more music. The flood saw to that.
Sometimes, when the hunt brings us near the cloud shears, I can almost see the light beneath the ice. Don't forget, the mad Sun King's cruelty survives.
Water lapping on old stone. That's a sound to sleep to, not live to.
Our struggles don't concern you, Outlander.
Oh, I'm glad my father isn't around. It would torment him to see his legacy drowned. One day, the Stone of the Din was dry. The next, the flood came. Deep Din, silenced by rising waters.
Frozen toenail. I wonder how long it's been stuck out there. Why do the cliffs and fancy colors spread across them? Why can't the current just leave things alone?
No more music. The flood saw to that.
Stay out of our way, Outlander. We have enough worries.
Water lapping on old stone. That's a sound to sleep to, not live to.
Your life? Go where you want. Do what you want.
Oh, I'm glad my father isn't around. It would torment him to see his legacy drowned. One day, the Stone of the Din was dry. The next, the flood came.
Outlanders. You spend a week in the cut, then go home to tell your friends how tough you are.
Deep Din, silenced by rising waters.
This Oseram thinks himself so fearsome. Please.
No more music.
I'm not afraid of bandits.
The flood saw to that.
Stonewall used to be a pleasant place. But now bandits have gotten their paws on it.
Water lapping on old stone.
There's more respect than to be
That's a sound to sleep to, not live to.
The sand near Sunfall.
Oh, I'm glad.
You seem sad, stranger. I heard you mention a flood?
Yes. A sudden deluge, without rain or melt to explain it. I'm Lalai, the drummer of Deep Din. Or at least I was, until it disappeared under the waters.
Deep Din. What's that?
A hollow, carved out by the old ones. A chamber, a basin, and a musical instrument all at once. My life, my calling. I'd explain it by playing for you if I could. But its pipes are deep under the water now.
So Deep Din is a place and a musical instrument?
Yes. Pipes that carry a perfect tone beneath a sonorous basin. A wondrous edifice the old ones used to carry music far and wide. During the war, my father played the pipes to rally the Banuk against the Carja. I'm the drummer now. But our battles are few and far between. Mostly I play for the joy of it. Or to remember my family. Of course, if the waters don't recede, what's the point of joy? or remembering.
So the waters came fast.
One day it was dry. The next, the nearby river had risen and the entire basin was flooded. I don't understand it. There was no rain, not even any clouds, and yet the river rose higher than I'd ever seen it. And there it remains.
A flood without rain. That is strange. Where is this place? I'll have a look if I'm in the area.
Just northwest of here. Look all you like, but I don't see what good it'll do. The floodwaters aren't going anywhere. How does one ask a river to relent?
Stone Yield is always...
Sakuri's painting is coming along.
I do not want to hear this talk from you again. Doubt is heavier than a week's snow.
Forgive me, my chieftain. We will be ready for the next attempt.
But this will not be an attempt. It must be done. Do you understand?
My chieftain.
Good. Outlander, I suppose you wish to speak?
Ourea knows about this Damon. Where would I talk to her?
She does a shaman's work. That is not for the eyes and ears of others. Certainly not an Outlander's.
This Damon you talked about.
If you are hardy enough, you can venture out and see the signs yourself. It has changed the machines, made them fiercer, stronger.
But what is it?
A matter for the shamans to debate.
There are other Weraks in Song's Edge too?
Yes. The village has its own life for all Banuk who need trade or shelter. After the war ended, it sprang up from what was once a campsite, quick as the bloom between frosts. Perhaps it will last, until the Karja seek war again.
Did your Werak come from this place?
No, we rallied most of our hunters from across Banur to face the threat of the Daemon. But I was born here, and stayed to fight the Karja when others retreated into the mountains. A few of my old warriors remained with me, those who survived.
You're set on going back to the mountain?
I put my word to it.
Even with the risks being so great?
The risk of what? Death? It would be a worse fate to bow our heads to the challenge and say too much.
Well, I guess that's it then.
Good. I prefer deeds to words.
Right.
It'll be a cold night. Be prepared.
After all the mad sun king put us through.
One day, the Stone of the Din was dry. The next, the flood came.
Everywhere Banukai and her Werak fled, the ravenous tribe were never far behind. Seeking a way to defeat them, Banukai went into the wastes and let the wind whip her cheeks. And when the cold brought sleep, she dreamt of light. She saw it behind the world, a great calming sheet of icy blue. And she saw something new. Herds of machines, each filled with the same blue light. When she woke, she knew which star to follow. She walked for many days and nights until she arrived at a temple built from sparkling ice. At the gates of the temple, she was met by the machines from her dream, who bowed to her as she entered. Inside, Banukai discovered the blue light bubbling from a hole in the snowy earth like a spring. "You bid me come," she said. "My people need aid. Will you provide it?" The machines whispered to Banukai. "We go where the light goes, for we are its chosen vessels. There is darkness in your heart. It cannot hold the light for long. Carry it to your people if you must, but the cost will be great." Banukai waded into the pool, The light reared like a nest of snakes and struck Banu-Kai, piercing her skin, filling her up. Banu-Kai did not scream, though she was in agony. Banu-Kai did not collapse, though her limbs shook. She climbed from the pool and carried the light inside her. She marched toward home, and the machines marched behind her. As she walked, the light struggled to push its way out of her, but the machines were there to aid her. She sewed her body shut with their cables, patched herself with their metal, and kept the light within. When she arrived, the forces of the Ravenous tribe had surrounded the camp. Although the light had left her with 1,000 wounds, Banu-Kai charged. And because she held the light, the machines followed. The Ravenous tribe killed many, but those in camp rushed to join the battle. They gathered pieces of the fallen machines and from them fashioned weapons. And it was with these that Banu-Kai's people repaid the suffering the Ravenous tribe had wrought upon them. When quiet descended, Banu-Kai finally fell. The machines bowed their heads, and her Werak wept. The light she'd held within her drifted from her wounds and rose to the sky. And for just a moment, before life left her, Banu-Kai knew the truth of the blue light. And she felt peace. We remember Banu-Kai, the first to crawl from the cave beneath the world, who brought the machines to us. When we speak the name of our tribe, we remember her. And we will not forget.
The life has left the tall neck at the frost figures, but its shell remains. You're still breathing. Before the bandits came, Stone Yield had a certain wild beauty to it.
Welcome to the cut, stranger.
Quite a view you've got up here.
It's a useful perspective. How fleeting we are when the world is so wide. From up here, you can see how the light paints across the land. Ever changing. That's a lesson. All our marks will pass.
That outlook sounds a little depressing for a painter.
Haven't met many artists, have you? Song's Edge needs new stories. I scrubbed its past off this rock to start anew. But a new start needs new colors. Fresh pigments. Like none have seen.
Have you always been a painter?
I've always painted. But I wasn't a painter until I was driven out of Ban-Ur. Up there, the markings are eternal. They paint over the same lines, the same colors, over and over. As a child, I learned from copying them. As I grew, my heart sank at the familiarity. All of us Banuk might as well be trapped in glacier ice. We have the look of life, but never really moving.
These pigments you want. Where should I look for them?
Salts gather at the edges of geysers and hot pools. Crystals cling to the rocks and cliffs.
The Banuk rock paintings are impressive, but,
You want to know what they mean? That's not the right question, but I'll answer anyway. Some are called to the machines. The sacred shapes you see on metal casings, or on a cauldron door.
Do the machines listen to the call?
I don't know. Others, like mine, are a call to the tribe. You could say inspiration or prophecy. And sometimes even men listen, if the painting is loud enough.
I'll see what I can find for you.
Seek out the vibrant ones. A spring of sudden color among snow or rock or metal. That's its own reward, but I'd reward you as well.
Good to see more Outlanders. We Banuk are too isolated from the other tribes.
Remember, Banukai, when the old ones were fresh in their graves and our numbers were
to
still
satisfy
small.
Aratak's
There was
crusade.
sheep.
There's no life left in that tall naked.